Shape the future.
I would hope so, right? You would hope so. I mean, this is the one team that you're going to see absolutely here, there, and everywhere. You can see them streaming on Twitch pretty much every single day. You know that they're going to be uploading onto YouTube as well. This is the one team where if you're thinking about doing research, this is the team that you would do it, right? You expect to see them in the grand final. If you're coming over here and you're saying, we're going to win this event, you're most likely going to have to go through Optic Gaming.
No doubt.
So,
no doubt.
Hopefully they have done their research, but we are jumping straight into the action. Map number 1, we're heading over to Foundation. And of course, it's going to be Epsilon, our blue squad, Optic Gaming, our red squad. And we're kicking things off with none other than Kenny.
Well, Foundation, a strong map, admittedly for Epsilon. I believe this is Optic Gaming's pick, but I can't confirm that just yet.
I feel like it could have been any map at all, and you would have been like, yeah, it's a strong map for Epsilon.
You're really shining me off as biased, aren't you?
No, not at all.
That. No,
I'm European as well, so I want to see Epsilon come out and make a good fight. Of course, it is pool play.
Yeah.
This is for the #1 seed of this pool as well. Bear that in mind. Both teams as it stands currently 1-0.
Yeah.
So this is really going to give them a deciding potential push here, especially if it was to go to somehow a tiebreaker. This heads-up match would decide that #1 spot. So really a lot on the line. And as I said, I would love to see Epsilon come out and really put up a big fight, really give us a close game. But, I mean, we're talking about the best team in the world right here. This is going to be a tough feat, but I feel like I'm trusting your words here, Toby. If there's a team that can do it, it's going to be this Epsilon squad from you.
I mean, all jokes aside, Epsilon, you've seen them in the Gears Fight Nights. Them on Foundation have been amazing. I mean,
they've been
like
good.
A 7-2 score very early on in the game, the very first Gears Fight Night against Vitality. This is a strong map. This is a strong map, and Epsilon is a team just like Optic Gaming that really utilize their slaying power, and I think these opening pushes from teams, these team fights, are going to tell the tale for the future of the rounds.
Well, early on, it's already a 93 to 63 point advantage, so Optic Gaming manages to get themselves about a 30-point lead, and the pressure already being applied over towards the Epsilon home hill. Could be a trip cap in Optic Gaming's favor. You expect someone from Epsilon to break it. They have actually overextended over towards B. Now again, the pressure back over towards that A hill and lava. Just more than happy to back away. His teammates both pick up a couple of kills. Of course, we are in the first round here, so respawn delay is only going to be around 10 seconds, but that's all 5 players down for Epsilon. A disastrous start in round #1. The trip cap will come through, and Optic Gaming, well, they're saying, Epsilon, you think you can bang with the best? You're playing the best, and you ain't banging.
Well. You know, I thought Epsilon and Optic were kind of even at the very start of that. You know,
besides the 30-point deficit, yeah, they were pretty close.
In terms of the team fight, in terms of the kills,
sure.
but then suddenly
sure.
Optic, of course, they pushed the away hill, and it was just a flicker of the triple cap. You immediately knew Optic had a grasp of that round.
Absolutely. As soon as they get those 4 players down and they clean up the 5th, you know Optic Gaming is flooding that trip cap. It's something they do so well. And the scary thing is how easy they make it look in the early rounds. Some teams with a 10-second respawn, they don't feel confident enough to even attempt to go for a trip cap because they're like, oh, well, you know, if we push and we go down, then they're going to get map control and we're going to lose. Optic are just like, no, we're getting your home hill. You don't have a choice about it. We're killing you and we're capping and we're trip capping and winning the round. Very, very dominant team. Now, though, heading into round #2, we're going to be on board with Ash. Fun fact, Ash actually knows a school friend of mine, and he actually lives 5 minutes away from my house in England. So I feel connected to Ash. Also, we're both ginger too, so that probably helps.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel connected to him and his comedy after that walkout. I will not forget that. That is for certain. But
McGregor.
Still in the action, double down in front of him, but it seems like Optic are just going to come away with a win in that team fight at B. Phelpsy picking up a kill, meanwhile, in the middle, but you see the Optic Lancers with those awesome new weapon skins, I'm sure you like these off.
They're absolutely stunning. Speaking of skins, you guys have a chance of winning some skins. You can tune over to live.gearsofwar.com. Awesome giveaways all throughout the weekend, including an NVIDIA graphics card as well. You're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that one. As it stands, though, once again in round #2, it's Optic Gaming that do have the lead here. It's going to be around about 56 to 40 points. So, again, an early lead developing. Now what I'm interested to see is how do Epsilon kind of regain a little bit of control here in this map, because last round, obviously, we just saw Optic Gaming get a couple of kills, and then they flooded, they got a trip cap. And, well, it could be almost deja vu as someone from Epsilon tries to rotate to B. This is exactly what happened in the first round. Optic Gaming won the trades at B, and they managed to get a trip cap, and that is pretty much, almost deja vu. But the C hill is broken as well. Ash trying to make some plays over at B. Has he bought his team enough time? That, excuse me, that is going to be the question.
Well, Phelpsy coming over to the home hill, but of course.
Deja vu, and look at Lava. Lava saying this is easy. Like, really, we're playing this right now. This is the competition. We thought it was going to be more difficult right here.
Yeah, Optic Gaming, excuse me, do look very comfortable, especially in that second round. It was just much more clear-cut from the get-go that the kills were just going in the favor of Optic, and you know, we talk about the snowball effect. As soon as you get one kill, and that goes on and on and on, Epsilon pretty much spawn trapped in the end, just trying to break a hill at that point.
And I feel like you're seeing Epsilon maybe panic a little bit there.
Yeah, perhaps.
They need to just kind of calm down, just say, all right, let's just slay out our own base, go from there. You don't necessarily in the early rounds need to panic. You still have plenty of time left, as Optic Gaming now have themselves a 2-0 lead. In terms of weapon placement, of course, the talk is down at the bottom side of the map here. We'll see potentially that could turn the tide for Epsilon. As we take a look at Explosives POV, already the kills. I mean, this is a slaughter at the B hill. 4 players go down. That's going to leave Sam by himself. But again, Optic Gaming, they're going to get these kills. And look at how quick they are to rotate. No hesitation at all. And Sam is going to be left in basically a 1 versus 2. He's going to go down. And Optic Gaming are making a real statement here in this match. Best of Europe, it doesn't matter. They're the best in the world as it stands. And they're desperately trying to apply that pressure once again at the A hill. Go for the trip cap. It's just kills galore. Epsilon not able to find any footing in this game so far. Optic Gaming 3-0 up.
That's probably the most convincing round I've seen yet in Gears Esports. I have to admit, that was really impressive from Optic Gaming there. Epsilon, did they get a kill that round?
I think they got 1.
1?
I think.
Well, they of course put the torpedo down by that statue. They put the frag grenades down at Pistons, which, you know, at this point, Optic Gaming clearly winning the openers, and when you have 2 powerful weapons at the either side, it leaves Epsilon with not many choices, right? To try and, you know, avoid the shotgun miles, try and go for the angles and keep their distance. They're really stuck in a corner.
But this is the problem. This is what we've seen throughout the year, I think it's fair to say, is how do teams react when Optic Gaming have momentum? What do you do? Right now, there isn't a clear-cut solution to that question. There is no, oh, you put drop shot down, or no, you know, you use shot grenades, you stop them, you slow them down from winning that B fight. There is no clear-cut answer yet, and I feel that's what teams are still trying to figure out. And Optic have been very, very good at kind of keeping their strategies hidden for the most part. And really coming out, but it basically just comes down to winning your gunfights, I feel. And that's something that Epsilon right now are just not able to do. You just see how quick Kenny is to wrap. He's already going to be on that C hill. You're pinching in Epsilon on their home street. And I mean, this is a stupidly quick trip cap. If this comes in, this is a 20-second round. C and B are under their control. A has been taken by Epsilon. They were forced to go into Optic Gaming's base. Meanwhile, Kenny, he's trying to cause a ruckus over Epsilon's home hill. But finally, Epsilon do get that footing back at C.
Yeah, they hold on for just a second. They got the A hill. Of course, that's been recovered by Lava, and they went to the C hill as a response. Right now, Optic Gaming again leading in the kills. You see the kill feed every second. It seems like Optic Gaming get a kill. But meanwhile, Hydra and Craze putting that to rest. They pick up the 2 kills at B. Perhaps a little capture coming in for them there as they start to get hold on for the first time of this map. But it's not looking good. I
mean, bear in mind at this point, we are at 16-second respawn, so those kills are really, really going to help Epsilon get that footing and get a little bit more map control. You have B and C. Now can you try and make the play for A? That is going to be the question. You're going to need to at least slay another wave of kills here before you can even think about going into Optic Gaming's base. But as for Craze, just doing a good job of delaying that push. The smoke grenades come out. He's going to find someone's right in front of him. That's going to be 1. Nicely done. They need to be aggressive, though, and try and get these kills in quick succession. Otherwise, those players off spawn, it's just going to be a chain if you go for that trip cap. You need to make sure you get those downs very, very fast.
Yeah, no doubt. Phelpsy picking up a kill on Mental, and here comes Explosive in a 2v1. Phelpsy's going to dispatch him as well. It's looking good actually for Epsilon. I mean, both of these teams, no doubt, Benson, like to lead the pace of the game.
Absolutely.
You cannot let Optic Gaming, no matter who you are, lead the pace of the game in terms of the kills and whatnot. And finally, Epsilon starting to get those kills on the board, starting to provide that brick wall at B, which they've been known for. But meanwhile, Kenny picking up that torpo. They're going to be coming off respawn with some power weapons to the name. But Epsilon just getting a bit of a score lead here, holding on to B and C, just about being broken there.
As you said, really the first lead we've seen for Epsilon throughout this map. Now the question, how do they play it? Do they sit back, absorb the pressure from Optic Gaming? Are they happy to play with a BC hill advantage? Is anyone going to overextend and potentially put pressure on A? Force Optic Gaming on the back foot, something they're just not familiar with. When you're a team that is so used to winning, all of a sudden when your back's against the wall, sometimes you see teams kind of react negatively almost. But as it stands, Kenny still doing a good job of just patrolling this statue area. He knows that he could apply the pressure over towards C, but doesn't really have the team support to maybe go for this just yet, but he's feeling confident. He's going to go for it, and well, that's an instant.
Yeah, big kill right there, and of course Epsilon 190 closing on that 210 score limit, so the ball is in their court. Ash is just going to get double off screen as well to just add to that fire. Mental, he hasn't got many options. He's going to have to push in. Even the A-Hill is going for the triple cap. This will surely be an Epsilon round at this point. Phelpsy, he's going to get taken out by the man of Optic Gaming, but nonetheless, Epsilon do get their first round on the board, and it was a good round as well.
And I love that too. Too many times you see teams, when they're potentially about to win, they kind of say, all right, park the bus, boys. We're sitting in the back. We're making sure we hold 1. Epsilon, no, they don't do that. They will push the opposition home hill to just seriously apply even more back pressure. That, to be fair, is a big sign of confidence.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the EU teams definitely go for those away hills when they know they're going to win on points.
Such a
and the
smart
other team,
play.
it's just smart play, right? It's just
such a
reacting,
smart
being proactive to the scenario. They know
Yep.
what's going to go on. And it's been used there against perhaps the top team in the world right now. So yeah, very good round from Epsilon there. They started off on the back foot. They've proven they can come back during these difficult scenarios.
Traditionally, is Epsilon a team who kind of prefer the longer respawns, or are they a team that love the shorter respawns? How has been their playstyle in Europe?
You know, it's been quite mixed. I can't really put my finger on that.
Okay.
Right now, Epsilon leaves so much in the slaying department that they're always getting those setups, right? All those triple caps. They always, like I said, lead the pace of the game. And this is why Optic Gaming is an especially difficult enemy for them, because they're not used to it, right? They're not used to having shotguns being put in their face, you know? And so that last round for me, Ben, is crucial, right? Epsilon have proven, all right, we've just lost 3 rounds to Optic Gaming, but we can lose the opener, but still come back and win on score quite convincingly.
And honestly, I think this round as well is super important too, because it's going to give them a little bit of momentum now, saying, all right, you know, we're not down. This is a close game. We can potentially tie this at the half 3-3, go into the second half and have a new slate, essentially, as the sides will, of course, flip. And as it stands, it is Epsilon who have control of A and B, so despite going down early in the series, they're definitely not out just yet as they start to build themselves a lead. And again, there's respawn delays. We're at 18 seconds right now, so these kills Epsilon are able to pick up are going to be absolutely massive if they want to try and win this round.
Epsilon really turtling up at the B hill now. They've got a bit of a score lead, but here come the counter-offensive from Optic. They're not letting them sit comfortable down there for too long as Kenny B picks the kill on Ash. Hydron answers back the kill of his own. But of course, the numbers advantage comes in for Optic in the end. We've got a Wildman Cray is going to get taken down as well, and surely that's going to be a B capture for Optic. Maybe a score comeback very soon. 3 members down for Epsilon, make that 4 actually as we bring up the heads-up display. Phelpsy getting taken down there. Sam, the anchor for Epsilon, forced to come all the way back to A, but Optic not letting Epsilon stay comfortable for that long.
And Sam is in a really tough situation here because you can see he wants to try and overextend towards C, put that pressure on, but as well, he needs to buy time for his teammates off spawn. He can't necessarily just make such a reckless play like that without having that team support and potentially a little bit of backup, and you can kind of see Explosive just lingering around that mid-map, ready and waiting to pounce if that overextension did come through. It hasn't, and this is now where you're going to see Optic play for those kills, and if they pick them up successfully, immediately go for that trip cap and end it.
And of course, they were picking up those incendiaries during those respawns. Instead of going for that triple cap, there's a Torpo as well, picked up 3 kills, 4 kills, make it. Oh my, Optic Gaming. And they've got retros, they've got Torpos. Their arsenal is good. They're going to be looking, even Summons is in the Epsilon spawn right now. They're not messing about. This should be a triple cap.
He's like, bruh.
You're just waiting to spawn. Where are you, Epsilon? You're not here.
The ultimate disrespect is like, you're not even spawning, boys. You're not even here. Where are you guys? Oh, you're all dead? That's a shame, isn't it? Optic Gaming, 4-1 up. And I mean, you look at their kind of facial expressions and just kind of business as usual, really, for them. And it's interesting. It really is kind of seeing that they're coming in here with kind of that same intensity they would. You kind of heard Lava saying it's important they don't lose. Of course, pool play kind of new to Gears of War from what I've been speaking to a lot of the players saying, hey, we're not really used to this. And I was kind of stressing the importance. It's like, you need to make sure you win your first 2 games. You want to be able to come in on Saturday with a 2-0 comfort, knowing that you're playing an open bracket team. It can kind of act, for the most part, as a little bit of a warm-up for your championship games.
And of course, just to highlight once more, E6 have lost to both of these teams.
You just had to throw them under the bus, didn't you?
Yeah, that's just bring them up, yeah.
Okay.
But it's just going to be biased to Epsilon again, shall we? Nah. Both teams, of course, battling for the first seed now, but Optic Gaming with a good lead as we're on board with Ash once again. But this is the thing, right? There's always a smoke, but he's full red straight off the bat. It just shows how much pressure Optic can apply, even at distance when you can't see them. But Incendiary's been picked up from Kenny B, meanwhile, looking for that pick on Phelpsy, but it's not going to work out for him. Bit of a shotgun battle going on here as Phelpsy has the damage lead. Yeah. Oh, sneaky Lava just appeared on my screen there, but
what's really interesting to me is Epsilon are winning those engagements, getting control of the B hill. That's a 3rd round in a row where they've actually been able to do that. Admittedly, Optic Gaming immediately took it back at 3 rounds ago and were able to go for a trip cap. But the past 2 rounds, Epsilon have been applying the pressure, and you actually see it coming in here in Optic Gaming's home hill. If Summons isn't careful here, they could actually lose this round of 4-2 at the half, but Summons with a little bit of support. In fact, the support doesn't matter. Lava's going to go down. It's Hydron trying to pick it up, but Explo and Summons come in and act as cleanup crew. There's Kenny with a pick of his own, and immediately Epsilon running away with their tails between the legs. It's going to be Craze, desperately trying to find some support and some cover, but the support isn't going to come in just yet. Of course, we're at 20-second respawn, but Craze does shut down Kenny B. Can he now keep Epsilon in the game? That's going to be the question. He's full red, desperately trying to find a pick over towards C. Will be able to get it neutral once again, and he does so. Craze, nicely played, cleans up Summons, but I don't think it is going to be enough. Mental with a couple of plays off spawn for Epsilon. In actual fact, may have just been a big enough play for for Epsilon.
Yeah, Craze just done enough there to force Mental off and play for the setup instead and not just getting lives in that 3v1 scenario, but Optic Gaming have done it once before. They might do it again. If Hydra can be taken down here, maybe a Torpo is up for grabs for that power weapon player. Mental, so good with that sniper. I think he's going to pick up the Torpo as well. Hydra maybe like baited that for a second, but he's going to run back and not be able to stop him from running away with that weapon. Of course, Optic starting to get that score lead now. Explosive getting the kill. Was that a stick? No. But Hydron is going to pick up the incendiaries. Meanwhile, that Mental just ran away last second.
And the one thing I love about watching Mental play is how controlled he is. Like, for example, you saw him pushing that C-hill. You recognize immediately, okay, they're off spawn, I'm out here. Too many times you see players in these high second respawns get a little bit caught out, they fall, and that's when you start to see counters come through. And, you know, we talk about teams making mistakes, but in Optic Gaming's case, it's very much, they don't make that many mistakes, and it's so hard to capitalize. But what Epsilon have done well so far is when they've recognized a small mistake has come through, they capitalize on it immediately. But now you're getting into that zone where, you know, you look at Optic Gaming's lead, 166 to 138, that double cap isn't going to do it. You're going to need to go for the trip cap, and that's what's coming through. Mental now has to spring into action here at the B hill, and at least buy his teammates a little bit of time. The lead, as it stands, at around about 20 points, but Epsilon do have 2-to-1 hill advantage. They're going to at least need to neutralize A for around about 5 to 6 seconds here if they want to have a chance of winning this on a 2-to-1, or at least go for the trip cap. The kills being traded left and right down there towards that B hill. Lava just rolls in though. That's an easy double. He's going to get control of B and potentially give Optic Gaming this round.
Yeah, if the A and B setup can come in for Optic Gaming now, they should win on score by a score. And here we go, Phelpsy coming off respawn. This is the last big push, and they need it. B hill is going to be broken for just a second, but still Optic Gaming look to be in the lead. And you know, we were on board with Mental for a lot of that time, right? And it has gone Optic Gaming's way, but Mental dancing around that whole time, just a nuisance, complete nuisance, not allowing Epsilon to set up, despite there being 2 points, three players around him, but just dancing around, not receiving much damage. It really shows how good Optic Gaming in pretty much any scenario.
And I think one of the big things to note is the way they use their smoke grenades as well. That fantastic cover. They kind of force Epsilon into unfavorable gunfights, and as soon as they're in those unfavorable gunfights, you're like, well, you're basically going to die. There's not much you can do, but going into the half, it's a 5-1 lead for Optic Gaming. I mean, #1 team in North America versus the #1 team in Europe. As it stands, seems like North America may be king in this one. However, going into the second half, of course, the map will be flipped. We now have our D, E, and F hill, our E hill being our neutral mid.
Well, hopping on board with summons now. The E hill is still up for grabs. Lava is on hand. As you can see, Kenny B and Explosive opening things up on the kill on the street just above that B hill. Ash all in his own at the statue. He's surely going to just get angled out. He will drop to his knees, and Optic Gaming surely will take control of E. And they're already applying the pressure as we saw Explosive getting the angle onto the D hill. Phelpsy running for his life, trying to find a kill, and they need to do it quick, of course, Ben, because he's just going to get pinched in the back. They're all full red. Phelpsy done really well to get a kill. He's going to drop, though. Hydron going huge, though, getting that kill and the revive. Surely Craze can get up now. Epsilon still in this game.
Yep, still in it for now, but what's crazy is just how quickly Optic Gaming were up in Epsilon's home hill.
Yeah.
They did not waste any time. They only just got E, and next thing you know, the trip cap domination was coming in. But as you mentioned, Epsilon do a fantastic job of just defending, but now you have to win those gunfights once again. They went to try and play for home street advantage. They wanted to get up to Gaming's hill, and that's exactly what they're doing. F now completely neutral, but can they defend the wave of Optic Gaming players on their own hill? That's going to be the question, because the F hill has been defended by Optic Gaming. Those players coming off respawn, of course, so easy for them to just drop back to that hill and regain control. As it stands, it's going to be around about 100 points to 62 in favor of the green wall.
Very good job, actually, from Epsilon, staying in that round there.
Yep.
They tried to be proactive. They went for the away hill, but they also held on to their home hill in the process. And already the Epsilon team are rotating, this time to E. They've gone to pretty much every hill in the last 1 minute. They're trying to stretch Optic Gaming. It's difficult, admittedly, and Optic Gaming are responding, but Epsilon are giving it their all. But look at that. What can you do when Mental just picked up a double kill, bouncing into the Epsilon shotguns? It is going to be 4 members down. Sam is 3-point, as we see on the heads-up display. He's on the D hill, though, right now, and it's not a good place. Of course, those angles and the pushes can come in very soon. But right now, it looks like Optic Gaming are just going to sit pretty, keep their distance. They have got a big score lead.
Right.
And of course, with that respawn timer being at the lowest point, of course, 10 seconds as we went into the second half, setting up is a wise decision.
Yeah, they recognized they didn't really have enough map control to push for that trip cap just yet. Now, though, you'll see they've gotten those kills basically in Epsilon's base, so that is going to give them license to apply the pressure over towards D. Lava's probably going to turn around and pop one. That was Ash. Can he find the second? Looks pretty good. Has the teammate support. Craze will defend it, but it doesn't matter too much. Optic Gaming with yet another trip cap.
And I spotted a little bit of a teabag. Did you spot that, Ben?
Hey, man.
Coming up from
Sometimes
Optic
you just
Gaming?
gotta let them know.
No.
You just gotta let them know.
What's quite funny is they actually teabagged and then went for the triple cap. It's like, we got all the time in the world. It might be 10-second respawn, we're just going to run up across your spawn straight afterwards.
Right.
But,
Why not, right? And you see Epsilon having a good hard think here. What do we do? I mean, Toby, what do you do if you're Epsilon at this point?
Oh, you know, I usually have answers to these type of questions, but right now I'm mind-boggled. I mean,
I feel like you need to put just something. Give yourself, I mean, let's be honest. You're 6-1 down, right? Likelihood of you winning this map, probably not pretty high.
Yeah.
So make it random. Make it as random as you possibly can. Put a boom shot the other side of the map. Force Optic Gaming players to go somewhere. Maybe use it as a little bit of bait. Get some early map control as the respawns get a little higher. Just try something. This is a time where you may as well try something because odds are if you keep playing heads up, you're going to keep losing.
no, we don't see much of the drop shot, actually. We don't see much of the drop shot. Maybe that could be something, you know, these teams where they...
But is that going to be enough to bait out Optic Gaming to play for it? That's the question.
Well, that's
if you're
the
Optic
thing,
Gaming, it's like, well, what kind of things do you want to play for? Sniper rifle, you've seen Mental go off with that. Maybe you could try and bait with that.
That's true, yeah.
Boom shot, definitely. You know they're going to have to play for that. His drop shot, really, do you think that's something Optic would bite at?
Well, this is the thing, right? If it's a boom shot, I think Optic Gaming would go really heavy in numbers. Most teams would. It's just the drop shot. It can be really powerful in the right hands.
Definitely.
I think Epsilon, the raw skill, the power weapon players that they have on their team can utilize that very effectively. But it's kind of surprises, right? Epsilon and these teams, whoever go up against Optic Gaming, they need to do the research. But will it be enough even then? Who knows? There's a lot of questions to be asked. It's looking bleak. I'll give it that. But right now, let's hop back.
Bleak is definitely an interesting term to use for this because probably not the word I would have gone with. As it stands up to gaming, of course, 83 to 63 point lead. They do currently control the neutral hill, but Epsilon once again playing for that home street, and this time it looks as if maybe they may be able to get it. D and F under their control. Now can they pounce on E as well? They're gonna need to get the kills because in come up to gaming off respawn. That's a big double for Sam. Craze is gonna find one as well, and that should be that. Epsilon find their second round. No way. Someone's broken it over to D. Summons the man, the myth, the legend. Can he get it done? It looks good to potentially bring up the kill. Goes for the meat shield. And just like that, when Optic need a player to clutch up, they get the clutch.
Yeah, they have it there, and already see the D-Hill now got in the way of Optic Gaming. You just need one player, as you said, Ben. And already the Optic Gaming members have respawned. We got Ash and Craze both picking up kills, but Optic Gaming still hanging in there. But of course, Epsilon have that score lead. Well,
they do.
Yeah, quite small.
Hey, lead is a lead, right?
Of course, they've won rounds with the score lead already. They won one round.
Yeah,
and they do it again?
Rounds, plural, really?
Round, yeah. But yeah.
I mean, it's a 40-point lead. At this point, you know, you still do need to hold 2-1. You can't necessarily just play back for a one-hill advantage. Problem is that the pressure from the green wall is being applied over towards E, and this is why I'd love to see someone from Epsilon say, hey, all right, pressure on E, I'm going to rotate to D. You know you're basically going to have a 1v1. If you head down towards bottom pistons and back up towards that D hill, you can really start to force up the gaming to think about what you're going to do. It basically becomes a game of chess at that point.
Yeah, I mean, Foundation has like 4 lanes, essentially, and a lot of flanking routes. So if there is one map that you can kind of surprise players in terms of your positioning, the flanks, Foundation is certainly this map, rather than say Reclaimed, where it's a lot more setup heavy, in my opinion.
This is looking good for Epsilon.
This is looking good, right? I was about to say, Sam
very
good. Kills at E, 190 the score limit. All they need to hold out now for is 20 seconds. But switching our camera to Mental, he's got a good shot on Ash. He's going to finalize that kill with the last unforgiving shotgun pellets.
I love this play. I love this play, by the way. They recognize it's 205, and you saw Mental just kind of say, hey, I've slayed out E. I'm going to kind of leave that. I'm going to see if I can apply the pressure on F. Unfortunately, though, didn't have the team support. That would have been such a sick play. If he was able to get to F in time, leaving E neutral, recognizing he didn't have time to cap it and then rotate as well, that could have been a very, very epic play. But unfortunately for Optic Gaming, it is going to be Epsilon picking up their second round here. Potential comeback on the cards.
Now my question to Mental is, what weapon is he going to go with? Please go with the snipes.
I want to see him style with the sniper rifle. Please, dear God. We saw it in Fight Night, and it was one of the most epic things ever. I'm so excited.
Okay, so Crazed and Mental, please engage in a 1v1 snipe across that.
Just everyone else stay in spawn.
Yeah, please.
Okay, everyone else stay in spawn. Let them two grab the sniper rifle, 1v1. Whoever gets the first kill wins a round.
I would be content with that. Let's change the rules right here and now.
I don't think we have the power to do that, Toby. But we will see the sniper rifles for sure. It's going to be Mental and Sam.
Oh, Sam.
Sniper rifle. Okay.
Well, there we go. It's a nice insight into the Epsilon mind, right? Craze is definitely the best sniper on that team, no doubt, no question about that. But they're going to give it to the anchor player, right? They're going to give it to Sam, who's sitting on that spot. So they're sticking with their team strategy, their opener instead. I mean, Benson, do you agree with that?
I mean, but you're trying to out-snipe Mental. You need your best player to outplay Mental. You really do. Mental is no joke when he has this in his hands. Well, yeah, that's kind of what happens right there. Ash is going to fall. Mental looking for two. Not going to connect with that one. And will he be able to get the reload and get out? He's just trying to bounce around. Please don't. No. Not like that. Oh, that would have been absolutely just sick. But unfortunately, does not get the kill. It's going to be Phelpsy that cleans up Mental. And now Epsilon, once again, applying the pressure. He and E-Hill in their advantage. They still do have the sniper rifle in, I believe it was Ash's control as well. So they could potentially use that to defend that. Oh, sorry, Sam's control. Could potentially use that one to kind of control that home hill. Doesn't seem as if Sam wants to be too aggressive with it. Bear in mind, you're going to have Optic Gaming players running at you here, so it's going to be pretty tough to win those up close and personal fights.
Indeed, and of course, Craze actually, courtesy of Phelpsy, had a sniper down in front of him, but he didn't pick it up, right? He went around the flank, got the kills instead, and he's done a good job, and you already see him on the kill feed off screen, get the kill on Explosive, but Mental taking him out. And you see, as we referred to, Sam sitting back, playing it safe, not giving Optic any chances, but right now...
Is it too passive, though, when you're going against Optic Gaming?
I think any surprise you can get, any aggressiveness that is safer. You know, obviously Optic Gaming are pushing the statue right now. Maybe if Sam applied a little bit of pressure, it might work in that favor.
Put pressure on that F-hill, right?
Yeah.
Pull out the shotgun. You got to feel confident with your shotgun. Of course, Kenny has picked up the sniper rifle off spawn, so you may see that bout happen over towards that home hill. As it stands, though, it is Optic Gaming that have controlled the E-hill, so they're going to start chipping away that fragile Epsilon lead. And Kenny, man, you should have given the sniper rifle to Mental.
Well, if we change the camera very soon over to that spawn hill, Phelpsy actually getting the kill. Of course, that former spawn hill, excuse me, back in the first half. But Kenny B on your screen, still with that newly respawned sniper. And this is the difficult point.
This is honestly looking good for Epsilon. Exactly. I don't want to jinx it, but this is actually looking very, very good. They're playing a significantly more structured game style than we saw in the first half. And it's almost as if Optic, their slaying pace has slowed down a little bit now.
Definitely. And you already see Hydra taking that bit of map control that Street provides. Explosive trying to take that away from it in an instant. You see on the left of your screen as well as the names go through the smoke. Optic Gaming pushing through the statue. Phelpsy going to meet Anasha from Explosive there. And already Optic Gaming, they lost control of E, but already at the click of a finger regained it.
And that's what's so scary now. If you're Ash and the boys, you need to immediately react to. You cannot allow Optic Gaming to get control of your own spawn. Of course, now they're just one round away from picking up map number 1. So backs really are against the wall, and they're about to take the lead as well. Look at that score, 188 to 188. Tied game. Optic Gaming about to take the lead, but the pressure has come in on Optic Gaming's home hill. A 2-cap here would be enough for Epsilon, but Optic immediately try and react. They're flooding over towards the D hill. They need to win these gunfights, and just like that, Ash will go down. It's Kenny who cleans him up, and Kenny looking to do more damage from distance. Hydra, and he's picked up the sniper rifle. 207 to 209. It is going to go in the way of Epsilon but by God, that was a close one.
That was a nail biter, wasn't it, Ben? Last 10, maybe 20 seconds. Optic Gaming's hands were forced. Yeah. It was Epsilon who forced them to run at the Epsilon home hill. It was the closest one to it, and it's a very good round actually from Epsilon there. So close in the end, Optic Gaming regained B, but Epsilon's response, I believe it was Sam actually perhaps, playing aggressive on the away hill for that first time that we were discussing earlier, and doing it at the right point to secure that round.
What's scary is, though, can you do that consistently now? You've found a winning solution. You know, you've won 2 rounds in a row now, and it's looking pretty good. You're playing very controlled, very structured. You have the sniper rifle, which worked out pretty well for them. No flashy plays, no aggressive plays, solid defensive plays, and I think that was key there for their success. But can you replicate it? And this is something that Optic Gaming have been so good at this year, is adjusting. When they recognize someone's kind of onto them, they change up their playstyle completely. So for me, this is now where, for Epsilon's point of view, hey, how do we make sure that Optic don't kind of change their gameplay too much where they can retake control of the series?
Yeah, no doubt. Optic Gaming, as well as being perhaps the best slayers in the game, also the most flexible team, and that is why perhaps they are the top team still since Ultimate Edition in the world. But here we go, Hydra and Crazed opening things up with 2 kills.
This comeback, 6-1 comeback?
Of course. Phelpsy getting the kill on Mental as well. That's 3 members down for Optic. Make that 4.
This is where they have to go. This is literally where you have to flood Optic Gaming spawn. You cannot be afraid here. You need to put Kenny under all sorts of pressure. And Kenny, now the last man alive for Optic Gaming. This is the problem you have. He's able to clean up Sam. Can he find the second as well? It's going to be Hydra pushing in. A 1v1, and Hydra will win it. But unfortunately, there's Optic Gaming players are off spawn, and potentially Epsilon then missed a little bit of an opportunity. Of course, respawn delay at this point is getting pretty high. We're at 16 seconds as it stands.
Got to give it to Epsilon, though, especially Hydra, and as he realized that triple cap was not happening, he got out with his life and went straight back to he knew Optic Gaming were going to turn their reinforcements to that direction. But it is Ash right in front of Explosive as the Optic Gaming and Epsilon, 3 members of each team, I believe, lined up almost like a mirror on this E-Hill, and it's going to be a big one. Phelps, he's got the incendiaries. Oh, that was quite close, actually, too explosive. But here comes Mental as he's... Whoa, Phelps is down in a second, actually, but Hydrant does respond, taking out lava. The foot of that push. Right now, Mental is just going to be sitting right back. Oh, here comes a flank from Summons, though, as he gets taken out by Craze. It's anyone's E-Hill right now, but still, Epsilon holding on by the skin of their teeth. And Mental, once again, dancing around. But is it going to be enough to find cover? No, it's not. Medic coming in for explosions. Did you notice that, Ben? He got the shotgun kill and the revival. Star plays coming out from Explosive there.
Such clutch plays. Currently sitting with 22 kills to his name. He's trying to dance around the E-Hill. Bear in mind, though, whilst all this has been going on, Epsilon have developed a rather large lead. As it stands, around about 40 points. The question is, though, as Phelpsy comes in, a massive double from him just to try and defend that E-Hill with everything Epsilon have. This is a very, very sizable lead for Epsilon now. This is one of those leads you cannot throw away. You need to close out this round and potentially take it to 6-4.
Yeah, I feel this is too close right now. You can't rely on Phelpsy to dance around this statue any longer. Hydra's going to take out Kenny finally. Epsilon start to...
Now just don't choke.
To set up, right? This 180, 140 difference. Optic can come back, right?
They can.
Epsilon
this isn't over.
This isn't over, no doubt.
This next wave of kills is vital. They're able to kill Explosive, and I believe Mental is behind Explosive as well. Oh, you can't allow him to just walk into the hill like that, because this is where you expect some pressure to potentially come over towards F. This could get very, very close towards the end of this one. Epsilon doing such a good job of hanging on. All they need is the F hill. They will keep E as well. And Epsilon giving us a game here for the final matchup of the night. It looked like it was going to be smooth sailing for the Green Wall as they went up at the first half, 5 rounds to 1. But the sides have flipped, and all of a sudden, Epsilon's shown us that they still have some game in them.
3 rounds in a row, Ben. Momentum is going towards EU right now. And even Explosive with those amazing shotgun skills in action at the end. He couldn't take up the 3rd player of Epsilon. They'd done just enough to ensure they got that victory there, which really showed in that last instance. And
again, I'm absolutely loving the structured game style we're seeing from Epsilon. They're not allowing Optic to dictate the pace. That is key. They're basically coming out saying, hey, you want to fight us, that's fair enough. We're going to set up how we're used to setting up, and that's something which is so key. Too many teams change the way they play. They're forced to play around Optic Gaming. Epsilon right now, they're playing their own game.
Well, Craze has been forced to run after a wild lava. He picks up the nades in front of his, under his nose, and someone's going to punish him for that. Ash going to kill him. Someone's, though, is that a snipe? No, it's a shotgun right in front of him. He's going to find that kill, but can he find more? He's got damage. Very good push from Ash. He works with his team with that Lancer damage, and the nades were thrown out by Optic Gaming.
Ash, that is a huge play coming in from Ash. That's 3 kills when it looked like Optic Gaming had the momentum and they had the numbers, and immediately feeling confident, wants to get up and close and personal on Optic Gaming's hill. That's going to be the F hill, of course. E is still neutral. This is a big win for Kenny if he's able to get it. He will do as well. Mental able to clean up Sam. So despite the F hill being completely neutral, it is still Epsilon, the only team currently getting points. But bear in mind, you expect those Optic Gaming players to just come back and immediately get control of that home hill and then flood the E hill, which is exactly what is happening.
Yeah, and you see Mental on your screen with that sniper, and you've got Kenny B collecting the incendiaries as well as the E-Hill goes Optic Gaming's way. Just as we saw Epsilon regaining that E-Hill at the very start and getting the kills on the board, Optic Gaming respond very, very quickly.
And this is what's going to be tough. The last 3 rounds, Epsilon have controlled the pace. They had D&E comfortably. They were never really forced to break Optic Gaming's setup. You go back to the first 5, 6 rounds of the game, it was Optic who had the control, and Epsilon were not able to find answers. Now, though, with Optic Gaming, with E and F, can Epsilon fight back? Those kills are going to be so crucial. 18-second respawn delay at this point. Every kill is massive as Ash gets up close and personal. Mental shuts him down. Explosive, though, able to respond with a pick on Phelpsy. This one going all the way down to the wire. Potential trip cap gets knocked on the door from Optic Gaming, but E will be taken by Epsilon. Now, how do they react? Will they wrap back towards their home hill, or do they put pressure up close in Optic Gaming's face?
I believe Epsilon have a 2v1 here for a second, but Ash is going to fall, and you see Lava pushing up with that sniper on the D hill. Can he get a sneaky headshot? He can get a body check on Hydra. Is it going to be a 1v1? No, it's going to be a 2v1. Someone's knocked down. It's going to be a strict 2v1 as Lava's getting shot in the back. Triple cap coming up on our screen for a second. Here comes Phelpsy, though. Can he save the round once again with his shotgun kills? He gets one. Sam gets off respawn to get the kill. They're holding on for a second right now, Ben, but Optic Gaming so close, applying that pressure to the D-Hill.
I think someone as well from Epsilon may have just overextended as well throughout all of this commotion. I'm pretty sure we may see it come in on our screens shortly. I don't, maybe potentially actually fell there, but doesn't matter for now. Epsilon have survived, but at this point, they need to find answers. A 2-to-1 hill advantage is not going to be enough. They need to triple cap Optic Gaming, and believe me, that is no easy feat.
This is the test. 180 score. Epsilon pushing up onto the F hill, and this Cray is going to open things up with a headshot on lava. That is the team sniper down.
Good start.
For Optic Gaming, yeah, very good start. But as you said, they probably need a triple cap right now.
Oh, they definitely need it.
They need a triple cap.
Coming
They
in.
might get it.
I can't believe it.
See.
Kenny, he has to try and charge the E hill. It's completely neutral. As it says, Optic Gaming not getting any points, but that is not going to be long enough for Epsilon to turn the tides of this game. The kills did come through. Epsilon, they need to push that E hill. They're losing D as well. This is not looking good for the European squad.
No, I think there's too many hills to manage at this point as Optic Gaming really stretched them thin across all sides. 206, 207, that is going to wrap the first map up, and I believe that is the most difficult map for Optic Gaming for the tournament thus far.